gentlemen, to the 7th Esports World Championships here in Seoul, South Korea. My name is Reed Rappenbelt, of course, joining me is Marika from South Africa, support player for our national team, and we are back with game number 2. Coming up here in the 3rd and 4th place match, best of 3.
And if you missed the first one, you missed a lot. We saw Hecarim dominating the whole game, but I'll let you see.
All right, well, we probably won't be seeing that again, but when we get into picks and bans here in just a second, looking for Hecarim bans possibly, and maybe a comeback from Switzerland to keep themselves in this best of 3. But let's go ahead and get into our champion picks and bans. Bans coming your way for game number 2. Switzerland swapping over to the blue side. They're going to ban out that Azir. Once again, focusing on banning out these mid lane champions, a strategy that left a whole lot open for Serbia in game 1.
It looks like it's going to be exactly the same, and we can see Serbia takes away the Lulu yet again.
Same exact bans here, so.
They want to keep that away from Switzerland. I mean, you saw what they did against an almost comeback yesterday.
I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For Serbia, that's the case. For Switzerland, a need to deal with this Hecarim. Now, they are swapping over to the blue side, so certainly an ability to first pick that one, but a tendency towards Tahm Kench that is realized by Serbia with that ban.
I definitely don't want to give that to Switzerland as a first pick, but do you give them Lee Sin or do you give them Hecarim?
Oh, you don't give them Lee Sin. Over and over again, Koala with the hat, just proving he is very, very dominant with that champion. Now, also Kindred left available, but each one of these teams prioritize Kindred very, very differently. For double lane, great champion. For the Swiss squad, I was actually talking with Koala earlier, he's not quite as big a fan of running that Kindred in the jungle. So first off, we have to check out this last ban. So this is going to be most likely Lee Sin. Possibly that Hecarim that we saw be so strong in game 1. Not willing to give that one away. Dr. Mundo, also a really strong pick in the current meta, so not a lot of bans left, Marika.
Dr. Mundo slipped right through. Oh, wow.
Okay, we've got Dr. Mundo and Lee Sin. So this is actually really interesting from Serbia. They ban out a safe jungler, one of the stronger ones in Rek'Sai, and that means that there's not a whole lot to deal with Lee Sin once Rek'Sai has been banned.
Well, right now, you give them one strong pick and you take 2, so there's a lot of...
It depends on how strong your pick is. So for Switzerland, they've got Dr. Mundo available. They've got Kindred available if they want to go for that. But like we said, you really can't pass up the opportunity to play Lee Sin. But this is actually what Serbia expects. They knew that they were leaving the Lee Sin open, and they knew that it was too good to pass up for Switzerland. So now let's see what their capitalization is on that Lee Sin pick.
But will this Tristana still be picked by Switzerland, even though Alistar is not there?
That combo no longer available, but there are a few other ones though. We've seen Janna Caitlyn be very, very strong. Janna Vayne, another champion that Bigfoot has the ability to play.
You are not going to pick Vayne against the Lee Sin.
Well, it's not that, the matchup, but it's more that Bigfoot's super good at Vayne. He's also really good at Lucian, too, so he's got that versatility to play a little bit of a safer AD carry there. So, prioritizing, oh yeah, there's that Kola Max Hecarim. So, like I said, similarities to game number 1 are already coming out in the picks. They get 2 of the strongest ones, but this time, Yama has the ability to think a little bit further about what champion he wants to counter this Hecarim.
I don't think he has a champion to counter Hecarim if you think about it, because look at Gnar. Gnar was supposed to be the counter. And how did that turn out? 11-1.
Yeah, definitely not quite the same amount of strength here. For Yama, the champions that we should be expecting here, maybe I want to say Aurelia in that matchup, it doesn't work. So you're going to have to go for something maybe like a Vladimir for the split push, but then the all-in potential is really high. Tahm Kench would be a great pick to go here into Hecarim. Of course, that's banned. And there's the Lucian taken away from Bigfoot, given over to Pride.
That bot lane combo. Fresh Lucian, the Soul Stealer lane.
Well, yeah, definitely the 100% wife steal down there. We've got Lucian as the strongest champion for Pride. He also plays a little bit of Jinx, like we got a chance to see, but the Lucian is by far the strongest shared pick between both of these AD carries. And nice to see that prioritized by Pride to both take a strong pick for Switzerland and limit that for Serbia.
The great thing for Lagley is that Serbia does not play Anivia or Ori, so you have your two comfort picks open and they won't be taken, so you can always just leave it for last. But I like Braum more. Yes.
Yeah, there we go, locking it in. What's the AD carry pick here? Caitlyn, pretty decent with Braum, able to use that slow field in front of her to kite back away, and of course the Vayne available. We talked about it for Bigfoot. It has been his strongest champion. Not pickable in every scenario, but hey, when you're that good at it, you can pretty much count on a sure thing. Gonna be Vayne versus Lucian. And now, what are the last couple of picks here for Switzerland?
He must be feeling pretty confident picking that into a Lee Sin. I mean, Lee Sin is going to camp bot lane constantly. Or actually, you might want to get Lagley fed.
Alright, but the mid lane picks have always been very impactful between both of these teams, with Switzerland showing a really predisposition to picking that Nivea. Also can go for a safer Orianna composition, and with this Malphite being hovered over, Orianna might be the go here, able to just get that ball delivery system working. Also, great idea to put that on Lee Sin as he goes in for those kicks too. This is setting up to be something of an Orianna composition, but with the hover over on Yasuo, that could also be the mid lane choice for Lagley.
If they choose a squishy mid lane champion, he's just going to pick Zed.
Oh my gosh, the Karthus coming out. Alright, that's what I like to see. A few tricks left in Switzerland's bag, and this is going to be exciting.
Zed? Karthus and Anivia. Froggen, is this you?
What on earth is about to happen? Yeah, like you said, there's a couple of mid lane picks left available for Milica. Did go through with the first two bans like last time, but like you said, left the Zed up, and that could be a pick here for Milica. Okay, Echo. Echo, a champion that we've actually seen the Chinese mid laner ever for Vici Academy pick a couple of different times when his champions were limited. So haven't seen Milica really have quite as strong a showing as the Chinese squad did, but versus a Karthus. This is the last time you saw a Karthus played.
LCS. No, never LCS. Solo queue, yes.
All right.
2 years ago.
So it's been a while since Karthus has been a big deal, but anytime you're going to have a Malphite on your team, you've got the ability to have a lot of synergy with Abyssal Scepter, a lot of big hard engage, and even if Karthus dies, you can Malphite ult to keep everybody on top of that defile. So interesting pick here. It's certainly a pocket pick for Lagley, possibly not something that Serbia expected, but see some very happy fans in the audience ready to get this game underway. We've got picks and bans over with, some very strong, very unique picks for both sides. It's game for Switzerland. If they can come back, we're going to a game 3. If not, Serbia will take away 3rd place here at the 7th Esports World Championship. So without further ado, let's get into game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of the 3rd and 4th place best of 3 match between Serbia and Switzerland here at the 7th Esports World Championship in Seoul, South Korea. If you guys are watching online, thanks for tuning in. And if you're here in Seoul, make sure to come down to the Nexon Arena to cheer these teams on. They represent their countries, of course, representing the mid lane for Switzerland, a Karthus pick. First time we've seen that all tournament long.
Well, this might just turn out to be the next Bard. We saw what Bard did yesterday, carrying China to a complete victory. Was it China or Korea?
Both actually play a lot of Bard. We actually haven't seen that. It's a secret pick, so we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and talk about this Braum dance, the sickest one alive. Just going ahead and rocking out the luchador. We've got Bigfoot. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just trying to walk around. It's like, what on earth are you doing? literally in the river and he's
Dance
dancing
party.
around. I was gonna say a lot of dance parties here. Of course, probably a lot after IESF is done as well. But we got a little bit of games left to play, so let's talk about how these teams are starting off. We've got most likely a double jungle start for Switzerland, possibly looking to see a solo camp taken here by Colamax at those Raptors.
I'm surprised to see Vayne going in lane and not doing a lane swap, especially against the Malphite.
Well, the biggest thing for Switzerland is that you don't actually see them lane swap ever. I was talking to them earlier, and they mentioned that might be one of the weaker parts of their strategic planning. So just always going to see standard lanes from Switzerland no matter what. Bigfoot actually going to aggro the first 3 melee creeps so that they all target the first melee for Serbia, and that actually causes the lane to push, so you're able to freeze it out. Should actually see Demented Clown get level 2 off the XP in lane, and then Rome, were that a 2v1. But of course, they already know they're going to be facing off against a 2v2. It'll be interesting to see who's going to get these level 2 advantage first.
Karthus will be quite, must say, useless early game, but if they can drag this out, this might be a scary game for Serbia. But then you also have the Vayne to think about. This is a very mixed comp on both sides.
Karthus is a really good pick into melee mid laners. Now, granted, a lot of those are assassins like Diana, like Echo, who do have shields to mitigate that harass, but you know when a melee mid laner is going to come up and CS a minion, so pretty easy to deal with it that way. Now, oh my gosh, that kill onto the Scuttle Crab so quick.
And an early gang coming from him. No vision.
Yeah, level 3, Wild Joshi walking forward. There's the damage here. Knows he's in trouble. Flay backwards.
Surprise.
There's the mark, the flash in, flash out. Wild Joshi still exhausted. Rumble forward there in a lot of trouble. Turns around for the death sentence, does get the pull. A lot of damage there onto double aim. The luchador jumping in. Wild Joshi pretty low. We've got those concussive blows onto 2, but it's first blood coming in for Koala. He's got that hat up there. He's looking for another kill. Trying to give this one to Pride, and he will. 2 kills early for Switzerland.
And that's the power of the Lee Sin, just running past casually and destroying.
Yeah, one of the big question marks for me through this pick and ban phase, giving up that first pick Lee Sin. Without a doubt, Koala with the hat's the strongest champion, and it kind of goes without saying, we saw the power of Lee Sin yesterday for both the Chinese and Korean squads, just absolutely devastating the hands of a master, and that's kind of what Serbia has given Switzerland. Strong power pick already converting into kills. Red buff secured, a nice pickup afterwards, and oh man, maybe some kill potential here. Militia inside his shield, able to block that last lay waste and get out alive.
Karthus doing some early work. I was indeed wrong, it seems.
Really abusable early on before these mid lane assassins can go in and assassinate, but this matchup changes totally once these guys hit level 6. A lot of burst damage possible for Echo, especially depending on what his first item is. Echo, you can go for some CDR early, you can go for just a Negatron cloak for the lane advantage, but oh, here on the Laggly, forcing that flash out.
That's one thing you don't want down on Karthus, especially with a Kindred in your enemy's jungle. But now, another gang.
Man, if Koala had landed that Q, Militia might have been in a little bit of trouble. Koala not level 6, so no kick in there for the assassination, but now we're going to see how well Malphite kills Scuttle Crabs, and I'll give you a minor spoiler, or it's not good. Thankfully, he has some help from his team. Now backing up towards mid lane, got some power up here in Lee Sin. Looks like he's going into the queue, looking for it, fishing for it, missing it. And that means that, possibly still okay, Yama's out of mana, only level 4, so not a whole lot to see here. But they have to continue to push this, otherwise Yama's going to be in a terrible spot with the lane frozen in front of the enemy turret.
But out of all the champions, I think Hecarim is most capable of dealing with what they're giving to him right now. Horsepower.
Yeah, double aim up there to maybe step on the accelerator, but both teams just going towards top lane, being aggressive, and then walking away.
You rarely see that as soon as you just see the jungler top, that your jungler goes bot and you rush dragon. This is an outdated play these days, but it's such a good missed play. Missed
opportunity.
Yeah.
So bottom lane, we've got the duos there. Nothing happening at all other than a lot of pressure put onto Pride. Of course, that's a reaction to getting that early kill, be able to put it in some early itemization, whereas Vayne hasn't been back to base at all, still just sitting on that Doran's blade, which is, it's not going to cut it for much longer. Those trades in lane just don't work when all you've got is a Doran's blade. I mean, Doran's a pretty cool guy, right? He's got some good items. You want to start out with them, but probably want to go for an upgrade here in the near future.
She just wants to wait for a proper item because she died. You don't want to, or he died. Bigfoot not being a girl.
I mean, it depends on if you're talking about the player or
the champion.
The champion. But some reinforcements waiting in the wings as Double Aim probably looking to flip over that wall and go from around. Instead,
Lee Sin moving into the bot jungle as well, so
he's a ways out. A better play here for Double Aim is to go for the Skull Crab kill and get another stack for Wolf, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. Likely out of mana here, but avoids those Z-Drive Resonance procs pretty well. Is able to just get enough mana back off of killing these creeps to clear out the wave and stay in that lane a little bit long.
Lee Sin going quite deep into the jungle, getting some proper vision down.
We actually saw that really punished against Switzerland yesterday, as every time he would try to go in there, that Bard would find him out there. Of course, that's yesterday's games. This is today, and of course, going into these deep wards, placing them out is going to find Double Aim, but can he win that 1v1? Backing out, he's not level 6, and that's the big disadvantage here.
You don't want to be lapsed on in this case. Hecarim is level 6, so TP would be devastating.
Oh, Thunderlord's getting some extra damage there onto Milich. Koala backing backwards, as backs tend to be. Yama in the top lane, having some struggles continually versus this very, very strong Koala Max Hecarim.
Still fighting over that blue buff. I'm surprised to see that Serbia does not go and contest this. They do have the number.
Oh, the spite's good! Koala! Locking it down here with an Alchemist Demented Clown. Pretty confident walking forward because he knows that Lee Sin's not level 6, but also without eyes on Laggily. Don't want to overextend and get flanked.
Vayne is not falling too far behind. 10 CS, but it's not the end of the world, especially at 8 minutes and the death, the ganks. But where's Kindred without Lee Sin following him? Lee Sin of Koala has just been playing this so well.
A lot of early aggression, but we really haven't seen too many good setups afterwards. Now hitting level 6, that's going to allow a lot more pressure here. And you should see Lee Sin, going for the aggressive warrior in Shen. And the same thing for Double Aim. It's going to be about who's able to grab those first. And it does look like Double Aim and Koala both similarly building. So we shouldn't see too many discrepancies there until we see maybe boots, maybe a second item. Still looking for those big pickups.
But while Joshy being such a good support, or known to be such a good support, I'm quite excited to see what he pulls out in this Thresh late game. The epic saves. Will it be equivalent to Tom?
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting to look at the Swiss lineup. I was like, okay, we've got players that are primarily strong in solo queue. These guys have been playing in a lot of Swiss LAN parties and big LAN events in Switzerland together. But when you look at we're at the Serbian roster, these are guys that have competed on the EU Nordic East servers for quite a while. They've attempted to qualify for a Challenger Series a couple of different times under virtual gaming, and with a few minor changes to the roster, this is the lineup for virtual gaming. Of course, significant though those changes may be, the synergy is still there for Serbia. They do have a little bit more professional competitive experience to allow them to maybe have more strategic picks and bans. And looking to go in here onto Laggily. There's a nice wall. Milic jumping through it. Nice lantern to pull Karthus away, but the fight might still be on. Just kidding. Looking for a disengage.
Lee Sin coming in from the top as well. I would not risk it, especially with his...
Oh, nice dodge there. Safeguard away. Just kind of posturing against each other. Although Demented Clown actually has a pretty big zone around him with Double Aim there for follow-up. And in the meantime, of course, we've got Pride completely uninhibited by Bigfoot. He's going for, once again, that static shiv first. All used there. Demented
there.
Clown putting the pressure on a Wild Joshi. Some damage coming in from Pride, who does have that BF sword, but it's nothing in the face of that Braum. Now Cullen coming out, catching a lot of damage on the double aim. Flash forward, damage down, but is this a turnaround by Bigfoot? Lantern in there. The kick flash, Bigfoot back in the middle of the enemy team. It's saved there by Kindred, but here comes the Kindred counter. It's Karthus locking down 1 kill. Will we see more? Bigfoot in a lot of trouble there. One more auto attack to take him down. Tumbling away, Stealth is in there. One more auto attack to reach on the Piltover, or not Piltover, Peacemaker, the Light Slinger getting in there for a double kill.
And I just need to mention, out of these two teams, the one that I think tilts the most, Serbia. So if they don't stay in this, if they don't keep this close, then they will have a lot of problems.
4-1, not quite deja vu because we saw such a strong start. I think it was 8-0 for a while there with Serbia in game 1. Now kind of the opposite situation. Really, the mark of a very well-rounded team is not just whether or not you can get leads, snowball the leads, and then win the game, but whether or not you can play from behind as well as you can play from being ahead. Like if you get ahead, like sure that makes winning the game easier, but the true test of a good team, whether or not you can win. And, things aren't quite stacked in your favor, so not over by any means. We're only about 12 minutes into the game, and there's still advantages for both sides. Could go either way, but a big advantage that we've seen game 1 and now still in game 2, that Cola Max Hecarim that hasn't really clocked in. Z-Drive Resonance getting procced there on the Laggerly, so a big chunk of damage down, and Milica, a lot of mobility there. Boots a bot before Karthus has, and so he's able to dodge away from a lot of those late wastes and make this lane a lot more difficult. You can see the Kindred mark there, a little bit of mind games on the Laggerly, saying, is Kindred going to gank there? It looks like the answer is no. Positioning aggressively top lane, kill potential is on. There's the exhaust there, and immediately coming over the wall, Milic able to ult out of there. It's like, I don't want to fight that. Heads back in time.
Karthus is moving perfectly in lane. Every time he avoids that shadow, just making sure he does not get popped instantly. Very well done from Karthus. Or Laggerly in this case. Such an amazing mid player.
Yeah, he's really versatile too, and keep in mind traditionally plays those control mages, but has been facing a lot of troubles with bans. This could be a little bit rough for Joshi there. He's going to drop that box. Does have Pride coming back in from the backside. Now, Wild Joshi probably pretty dead, but definite turnaround potential here from Yama. There's the slow, the kick back in, and Milica is down, a shutdown, and there's the culling again. Will it be enough to take down Demented Clown? Dodges away from the last part. There's the dash forward. Kindred ult for the save, but not necessarily necessary. Does still disengage successfully. Milica down. A blue buff steal imminent. See if double aim can secure that one to Serbia. Looking to get the smite, double aim, gets it, tumbles back over the wall, but blue buff's one thing, Dragon is another, and of course, secured there by Switzerland. A big change even just between games 1 and 2.
Now Hecarim had the opportunity to teleport in behind there. I think he's just waiting to finish that Triforce so he can have that huge power spike and destroy the whole team at once.
No, but you're absolutely right, Marika. When it comes to teleports, you need to be able to push that button at the right moment. Definitely some right moments in there, but biding his time. That's something that's really interesting about teleport usage now that you don't have it have the cooldown reduced when you TP to turrets. You see a lot more top laners saving that spell for a little bit longer instead of using it quite so liberally to get to lane. But we don't see Trinity Force completed just yet, but for Yamal, we've actually got that Sunfire Cape, which is a pretty big power spike for him. We'll see whether or not that item discrepancy actually matters, but going for a blue Billy here. Koala scouting out Colamax. Goes back in. That is a little bit questionable. Jumping backwards. Fear is down. Needs to get that kick back to stay alive, but back in, or at least looking for the engage here. Malphite has engaged opportunity. If he sees a 4-man ult, that's what you want to go for. Likely running backwards. Milica will take turret aggro. Okay, this Karthus is actually dead here, but will they be able to find any kills off of it? Malphite coming in. Yama just a little bit farther behind, only catching the support there with that unstoppable force. Teleport's coming in to turn this one around. Koala does get a kickback. No knockups off of that. Koala very low, back to the back. Ignite taking down, but it won't find the kill, and that's actually a really good turnaround by Serbia.
Yeah, Switzerland must not let this one go out of hand because we also see what happens when Serbia's ahead.
Yama, man, he was trying so hard there, but of course in the end, sometimes that doesn't matter. This time around, though, got some potentials for engaged. Minions going...
Pride coming from the side. Oh, he's seeing a
Dead
flank.
sentence.
Oh.
Lands on the Demented Clown. Not the greatest grab target. That Unbreakable is definitely making him unbreakable as he dashes back away. A lot of damage down, and there's the burst from Pride. The Karthus respawns good, and it's going to kill off Demented Clown and my vocal cords simultaneously. It's been a long day, so let's go ahead and maybe calm it down for a second. I'm going to repair things over here while we wait for double aim and Demented Clown to respawn.
I must say that hook by Wild Joshy, you say it wasn't the best target, but it was a great bait. Great, mate.
Certainly was, and double aim paying for it. So much burst from Pride here. That crit chance, actually ridiculous. He has gone ahead and completed his first major item. I guess the first item completed there for Bigfoot 2 in that rapid fire cannon. I was expecting the static shiv. We've seen so many Vanes complete first this tournament, but definitely like the rapid fire cannon a little bit more. And of course, another Zeal most likely incoming after some Berserker Greaves. No boots at all, actually, for Pride. That's actually kind of interesting. Enough mobility to get around without them, so nice to see maybe saving that gold, putting it into some items, and using those items to get kills. Pretty good score there, 403. And up 20 CS in the matchup as well. So Pride, a real source of strength here for Switzerland, and really a big turnaround from game number 1. And you can just see how effective this has been for Switzerland. They're like, okay, well, what do we need to work on? Top lane matchup. Yama, much better situation here, just stacking armor. Note that all he has to do is just not die, which was a big struggle in game 1. Of course, while he's building tanky to be the front line, the rest of the team's building a lot of damage, but now Yama, oh, whoa, wait, that was the shortest Malphite ult I have ever seen. Yama's still in a little bit of a rough spot, back underneath his turret.
And that's the perk of being Malphite. You don't die. We see a fight going mid lane and...
Demented Clown, the recipient of all of that Lee Sin damage. Not sure you would really want to all into support like that. There's the culling, forcing him back away. Dashing back and forth, and damage is in there. Wild Joshi for the kill.
Handing that Braum a death sentence.
That box back there, great follow-up. And man, this duo so strong. Where was this in game number 1? Just ridiculously strong for Switzerland.
They are going to trade inner towers as Switzerland will be pushing in mid.
You're trading inner towers indeed, going for a kill there in the mid lane, continuing the push. Will they overstay here? Nope, backing out, continuing.
Vayne is a bit pushed, in my opinion. Backing out safely though.
Yeah, it backs out, but oh, you have to watch the cannon minion die. Ah, heartbreaking. But better than dying yourself. Bigfoot back to base. Zeal is purchased along with the components.
For static shiv.
For that static shiv. Exactly what I was going to say. So at least we're all on the same page. Malphite, though, a little bit rough to see him use that ult defensively, but with enough CDR there coming in from things like that Shroud, he's going to be able to have that ult up in just a few seconds. With
Dragon up in 50 seconds, Hecarim is pushing top because he just has that teleport up very quick. I'm sure they're going to contest this because you can't let another dragon just go to waste, especially not against that Lee.
Good good coordination here by Switzerland. They're saying, hey, let's go ahead and hit those recalls, get back to base, heal up, buy items, prepare for these big objectives. And it's actually like exactly like you said, you can't let these strong power picks get out of hand for Serbia. So for Kolamax, his Hecarim's actually in a little bit of a rough space. He's kind of split between item builds. He's not rushing Trinity Force, and actually be really
interesting. Going a bit more defensive. But he is free to push top now because Malphite is moving to Dragon. If Serbia can stall this Dragon, Hecarim can get that... no, he's backing out. This is the safe way out. He does not want to have that TP disadvantage against Malphite.
20 seconds and Hecarim gets home guards for free. This is a really kind of a great timing attack if you want to use some cross esports terminology. Hitting that right before Hecarim would be able to recall back to base and use that TP home guard. But able to kill off the dragon. That is the second dragon of the game for Switzerland.
Getting outplayed. Out-rotated at least.
Should have seen that the dragon timer coming for Serbia and gone down there and maybe gotten in position, but Once again, just trying to stay safe, draw out the laning phase maybe a little bit longer. We talked about how good Bigfoot is on Vayne. See whether or not that's going to pay off as the game draws on later and later. Vayne, hyper carriest of hyper carries in the right situations, but we'll need a little bit of time to continue to scale up.
Echo keeping up more farm than Karthus. I'm quite surprised at that.
Yeah, Karthus farms ridiculously well, but I guess Echo farms a little bit better. Of course, farming champions better as well, giving him that extra pressure in lane versus Karthus is all assassins really have. But a big item being picked up there in the static shiv for Bigfoot, now kind of on item parity, with the exception, of course, of that the F sword.
Malphite's flanking, but I'm sure there won't be much action going here. Not even tickling.
Gonna go ahead and slam that down. Possible engages here. Koala not looking for the kick, just gonna head. Oh, grab on to double aim. He will have to ultimate to save his life. Kick out of there would secure the kill. Going in, Summoner heal there. Koala too far. The Lee Syndrome strong with this one and a shutdown for double aim. So close.
His mind was telling him no, but his body was telling him yes.
Indeed, I think a few other people might have been shouting no. There's the flash, the slow onto Lagali. Turns out Lantern's a good skill. Yama, though, will be able to ult out to save himself or not. Actually, no, dies with his ultimate's still available. While Joshi shielding himself will go down. Kolomax with the kill. Mid lane, though, we've got Militia coming in with a kill there as well. Karthus ult coming down. It's going to be able to get at least one kill. A shutdown on the Vayne.
And this is the turnaround we've been waiting for from Serbia's side. They're playing well from behind. Quite to my surprise.
And like I was talking about earlier, you have to not only be able to play well with a lead, but with a deficit, able to come back. That is the true test of whether or not you are deserving of this third place spot at IESF. I don't think you're really going to start bearing up with that level of health, but just stacking up those continual charges off of those Scuttle Crabs. Nice to see Double Aim able to get those stacks, still scaling up. And of course, the scaling's the real thing to talk about here for Serbia. You got Vayne, incredible scaling. Kindred, literally infinite scaling on those the jungle camps, giving that extra on-hit damage. Of course, Hecarim engage, always super strong. But what are the things that Serbia really needs to watch out here for from Switzerland?
Lee Sin not suiciding. Because that was the issue there. He went way to the over. It was Yama that went quite deep as well. Or he got caught by Vayne. But definitely if Lee Sin and Yama can just work around it. Because they've been having the best synergy here at the competition. And they're just not showing it here. In this game right now. But put a Karthus in the middle of the team fight. Let Malphite ult. Let the Karthus die. He's going to do all the damage anyway.
Now, that's certainly the synergy that they're looking for, but I think the bigger question mark is going to come from this mid push right here. We've got Bigfoot and Demented Clowns pushing it up and back away. Okay, I was afraid they were going to overcommit there and get caught, but now positioning towards that top lane, maybe some pressure onto Baron. Double Aim scouting that their path is clear all the way up top, and Militia looking to come around from behind this turret. Thought I was actually going to go for a harder flank there, but just staying safe, defending that top lane turret. Big focus towards the top lane, and it's interesting to see the way that both of these teams are handling their rotations. They've decided to stick Hecarim top this entire time, and now sending him down to the bottom lane to stop these newly pushing minions on.
If they want to win this next fight on the tower, they do need to get a hook on Vayne, because Vayne was free to attack that whole fight. I think after game, if we can see it, the damage out, she'll do quite a lot.
Yeah, 2-2 and 2, looking for the first big damage item. You know, Vayne hasn't completed boots either, so neither one of these.
A lot.
Yeah, neither one of these 80 carries looking for boots as their damage item. So, still continuing to look towards the top lane. Push coming in. Good defense earlier by Serbia, but not consistent enough to keep that alive. And now looking to pressure. Dragon's up in a minute, so we'll need to see a reposition for at least one of these teams. But the push is very, very committed to both sides trying to zone things out.
Both top laners have TP up, roaming around the bottom, playing around each other. Malphite back in the bot lane, just pushing it out, ready to come top, but seems everybody's getting ready for Dragon.
Indeed,
40
it
seconds.
does. Yeah, a few more seconds, but coming back from base, you got pink wards, regular wards, items being picked up, and you can see less than 1,000 gold on absolutely everyone on the Swiss team. Similar situation for Serbia, although they did just crest that on Vayne, but Bigfoot, a little bit of a weird spot for items, recalling probably for Berserker Greaves. See what the item spot is. Yeah, it sells the potion instead, so really unwilling to upgrade those boots now that they okay, no, he does sell the potion to get the boots. Yeah, so first AD carry to complete boots. Not that that actually matters. What's going to be significant is whether or not Milica gets caught here. Yeah, Zenith comes out and it's not going to land. Dumping in. There's the actually Pride taking away the blue buff. That's pretty good because when you get that CDR, he's also got the Essence Reaver. There we go. Wait a second. Essence Reaver coming out there as well. Very, very strong Lucian, and it's going to snowball that into a third dragon in a row. Extra move speed here for Switzerland as they look for the possibility to start this fight. Kolovac's running in, laggily in a little bit of a rough situation. Decides to go and hit a nice Zanya's. That glacial fissure is going to be big. Milica just gets assassinated immediately. There's Pride taking him down. Double aim on a kill spree as well with that kill on to Karthus, but we'll see whether or not this killing is actually intact. Not really doing a whole lot, but ushering Bigfoot away from the fight.
They will not be able to capitalize too much of this, but Switzerland, they're just running away with the dragons. If Serbia does not act fast, and I mean really fast, they're going to sit with a 5-dragon team in the next 12 minutes.
In the preseason, I know a lot of teams don't really consider 5 dragons as a win condition because if you're losing to 5 dragons, the game goes way longer than most games do. I've seen a lot of tendencies for games to end in 30-35 minute range, which really doesn't allow you to stall quite as much. But these games have actually been a little bit slower paced. We're 26 minutes in, and we do have those 20 kills, so not a kill a minute like we've seen some of these very aggressive games be.
Well, they don't want Vayne to stack up either, because this is going to be scary. Lucian is just not going to be able to deal out the damage he does. And also, Malphite becomes slightly irrelevant late game if he misses his ult, because basically you have a Malphite ulting in, and then he's just sitting there doing absolutely no damage and just soaking up some. But nobody's going to focus him if he's just a tank.
I should probably clarify what I meant by 5 dragons not being a win condition. I mean, sure, it's a great way to win the game, but if you're taking that long to win the game, at least in this current meta, it's not. You see a lot of teams able to win it before then, so not necessarily the first thing you think of. A lot of big items being completed for both sides. We've seen an Infinity Edge finally in there for Pride, while on the other side, Bigfoot probably looking for a Bloodthirster. He does have those components in there as well. Red buff secured. Pride insanely strong at this point. But we do have some sources of strength on the other side. Double Aim's Kindred has been strong all tournament long. He's going to go ahead with a Youmuu's Ghostblade. Armor penetration, a super good stat for Kindred because she deals percentage max health damage. Of course, when you have percentage reduction to percentage power, it's actually really effective. So you shred some of that armor off, make those percents count for a little bit more.
Well, double aim on Kindred has not been the same as last game. I mean, he was 0-3 just a little while ago. Picked up 3 kills, back in the game.
And all of a sudden with very effective itemization there as well. If you leave that Kindred to deal damage over this next fight, has been able to stack up a lot of stacks. We'll see how many he actually has them. Trying to wait until they count that up. 10 stacks, holy moly. That is a lot of percentage max HP damage, so Double Aim's done a great job with those 3 kills off that comeback. Every single one of those have given him a stack on an enemy champion.
Will he just stack up more Malphite whenever? Now, the real question is, will Lee kick Vayne into the team for Malphite ult?
That's the combo. Koala going in, he's hunting Double Aim right there. Lee Sin does have flash up, so that kick flash combo available. Also some flashes for possible insects. You got to keep an eye on this Lee Sin, exactly like you were saying, Marika. That's going to be the combo you want to watch out for. Oh, Kolovac's doing his patented wait in the brush strategy. Will back out and lose that pink ward.
Karthus, he's reaching that point in the game. A lot of Aegis is fully stacked. I'm guessing we'll see a Death Cap next.
Should be looking for Void Staff here
Void
coming
Staff
up in
as
a
well.
little bit. And there's not a whole lot of magic resistance here, but you know that you're going to need that eventually. And I believe Void Staff earlier is actually pretty good, especially versus teams that do have a lot of magic resistance, not individually, but you do have things like Mercury Treads for a little bit. The big item, of course, being that Locket of the Iron Solare completed for Demented Clown.
Hoping to survive those cast results.
It's a great item to do it. He actually has double shields in there from Locket and then the Face of the Mountain. So great itemization there. Demented Clown saying, look, I know what's going to kill us. It's going to be that Karth Assault afterwards. He wants to have an opportunity to save himself from it.
Switzerland just controlling the vision quite well in their jungle. There's no deep wards from Serbia, but this could turn ugly. Especially the fact that they can't get vision on Baron.
A little bit of a delay there towards the mid game. We're 31 minutes in, and so like we were talking about earlier, usually games may not go quite this long. Nice blue buff handed over to Laggerly. That is a strong Karthus. The needlessly large rod coming out, like you said, possibly going for that death cap. Laggerly on other champions does like to go that build, but I haven't seen what his Karthus builds looks like. So, like you said, just going for even more power. Blue buff going to help him use that even more effectively. Coming back from base, Thresh restocking on that pink ward, getting extra wards in there on the side stone, and
another dragon coming up. This is important. You cannot let them get that fourth dragon, because then one misstep and the maybe win condition running out of control.
Our helpful observer knows exactly what you're talking about, illustrating that there are, in fact, 3 dragons taken by Switzerland. Trying to zone things out there, and with the Scuttle Crab there as well, they'll be able to not only re-engage, reposition, back off,
They're
go
going
in.
Baron.
Double aim.
Are they?
It's true, he actually does have those 10 stacks, so
They
possibly
need to start it fast if they want to start it. Bit late. They waited too long to do it. They might be able to put it off, but Switzerland is incoming, and Morfight is ready to ult.
Oh, here we go. We've got to take a look at Yama. Bigfoot versus the Malphite's got that percentage health, gets condemned into the wall. Yama's coming in, looking for it, misses it completely. Yama is out of there. The Pride is strong enough to duel against Militia. Zanya's there, the culling to come out. There's the ult backwards, but need to get this 80 carry in the fight before Colomax carries it all out. Needs to see whether or not this Karthus damage is impactful. Going to give the shutdown to Pride. Pushing forward. There's double aim backing away. Lisa not done yet. Ward over the wall. There's the safeguard. Missing on the Sonic Wave. There's a double. Looking for the triple. Did he get it? It is a triple kill. Coming over to Pride.
They could have escaped that safely, and they would have been able to deny the Baron by just poking, but that was just pure greed.
Also, do want to give a quick correction. Kindred with not 10 stacks. That's actually a 100 with the 0 cut off. So I was misreading that when I quickly checked the bar there. I think it's actually 2 stacks. What is Militia doing? Okay, ulting back away from there before he gets himself. Okay, he's not going to steal the Baron. It's already dead. There's no low health members for the take out. Just the 1v4, which turns out it's good to turn back time away from.
Surprise!
Lee Sin with that hand of Baron. They're hovering over that to illustrate that he will be able to go in for these big pushes. And man, I don't know about this. This is going to get scarier and scarier for the Serbian squad. Now having to deal with Baron buff. They've also got to deal with an incredibly high scaling from Karthus, as he's looking to complete that Rabadon's death cap, which possibly his next item. Also could go for a Rylai's Crystal Scepter for some extra slow to maybe help keep the enemy team in his defile.
Well, you cannot cut Serbia's Hecarim out of this. I mean, Colomax is just going to get stronger and stronger, and he's not been showing it this game as much, but it's coming. It's coming.
Certainly is, and we'll see what else is coming up the mid lane, as that does look like where Switzerland is, or was pushing. Instead of turning their focus down towards the bottom lane. A couple of things to work on for Serbia would be at least limiting the effectiveness that Pride has had. It's been an absolute monster. While Joshi with the sickest play, still in range for that safeguard backwards. Yama does have his ultimate back available. Might want to turn this one around. Takes the Lantern instead of ulting defensively. Here comes in Kolomax, a little bit ahead of schedule. Is he not there to back him up? Does that Bigfoot? There's a good Malphite ult, knocks up 3. Now Bigfoot trying to guide away from that, but it's a double kill for Lee Sin. Koala's got a hat and a double kill. Village double aim. They're both on the wrong side of the wall. Well, I guess he's on the right side of that wall. Lagally moving forward, trying to cut them off, needs to be careful. I think he is going to let Double Aim get away, just trying to delay the recalls because we've got Switzerland in the base. They're going to take down a base turret. They're going to take down an inhibitor most likely. Militia versus Lagally. That's the one thing you want happening in the backside. Who's going to be able to get that to pick up that kill? Zanya's into death. It's Lagally coming out on top. Double Aim though still with the damage. Garth's ult won't kill Kindred through her ult now. Kicks her onto the fountain. She is out of there, and so might Serbia be with Switzerland putting down a lot of damage here onto the Nexus. It's going lower, and there it is, going down. Switzerland taking game number 2 to bring us to a game 3. This 3rd and 4th place match.
At last, we get a best of 3 with 3 matches.
That's exactly what we wanted all along. Congratulations, Switzerland, bringing it back. They'll take this win here in game number 2 and take us to a game number 3. So you guys don't want to miss it. We'll be right back with more action from the 7th Esports World Championship here in Seoul, South Korea.